Mi pai.
No me cambies el tema. Te estoy preguntando por las clases de saxofón. Cantante, dijiste.
Sí, cantante nada más.
¿Y qué vas a hacer tú como cantante nada más?
This is my interview with Domingo Quinones. Domingo, welcome to Latin Heat. Thank you for taking time out to be here with us. I want to ask you, how do you find time to relax between rehearsing for the show and going to the studios to rehearse for your CD release?
I don't. I guess that
and you managed to find time to interview too.
I relax while I'm at work, I guess, because I ain't got that much free time. But I do a lot of reading, so whenever I'm on the subway or you know, walking around, that's what I do. So that's where I mostly relax, when I just walk from one place to another.
Yeah.
But I don't have that much time to relax, so I have to find time during work time.
Yeah. And reading is your favorite pastime?
Yeah. Reading and writing, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Let's talk about your acting and performing career. Now, Quien Mató a Hector Lavoe is not your first stage play, right? Correct?
It's my second.
It's your second.
Yeah.
What was your first one?
At first, I had a role in Jesus Christ Superstar. They did Jesus Christ Superstar in Puerto Rico, and I was Pilato, Poncio Pilatos.
Pontius Pilate.
That was my first, that was my first break on theater, in theater. And before that, I did a couple of things, but not like major, you know.
And you also did film.
Yeah.
You were in a film called Heroes.
Yeah, I was in a film called Heroes Without a Cause, and I just finished doing a movie called Complot in Puerto Rico. But the funny thing about this is that I never studied acting, and they never I never went to a casting. They just thought that I could do it, and you know, they just called me.
And you did it, so you're a natural.
I guess I'm a natural.
So modest too, right? Now, did you know then that besides singing, that this is what you want to do, acting?
Nah.
You don't. It's why?
Well,
it's hard.
No. I mean, I never planned on acting. You know, I just, you know, I went with the flow in music. If I have to do different projects that involve music, I just do it. But when this opportunity of acting came, I didn't know that it was going to be like this, that it was going to have this huge success, you know. Because besides the music, what I do is I work on rehabs. I have a chain of rehab centers in Puerto Rico. And what I do is I work with homeless, addicts. So
you're in this type
acting
of,
wasn't in my schedule, in my agenda. No, it wasn't. Now it is, obviously, because you know.
So how did you land the role of Hector Lavoe in the play? Who called you?
David Maldonado 2 years ago. I mean, I knew I was going to do the play, but I mean, acting in general, it wasn't in my agenda. It wasn't something that I prepared for. It just came along with the success from the music, and I took advantage of it, you know. And I'm learning day by day. I try to learn from the guys that know, you know, that have lived in this business, not just acting, but lived in general, you know. And I guess I'm a good, un buen observador, you know.
And you are, because it reflects in the off-Broadway play, Quien Mató a Hector Lavoe now. And I wanted to ask you, how did you go about doing research on Hector Lavoe, or gathering information on Hector Lavoe in order to come up with an eerily, because me subieron los pelos when you came on stage, and I said, oh my God, this is a reincarnation of Hector Lavoe. How did you gather the information to come up with an eerily perfect imitation of this talented singer?
Well, you know that when we grow up, it's inevitable not to hear Hector Lavoe, because, you know, so I grew up with Hector Lavoe. Hector Lavoe he was one of my favorite singers, but I never imitated him or nothing like that, you know. He was like a hero for the whole community, the Latin community, but I never tried to follow his footsteps. You know, he wasn't one of my role models, you know, at the beginning. But then when David Maldonado told me about, you know, he would like to create something like that, and they will bring like Hector Lavoe back to its people. What I did was I did the research. I went to like Johnny Pacheco. I went to Hector's wife, Hector's friends, ex-musicians. I went to his family, you know, and I just asked questions, and I looked at a lot of videos, and then again, I grew up with Hector Lavoe, so I kind of knew him, you know?
Yes.
And then you add this other information, and I think it gets it like more concrete, you know?
Yes.
So I went to like his first time in the club. The guy that took him there for the first time was Richie Bonilla. He took him to the club for the first time, introduced him to Willie. I went to another guy called Willie Amadeo in the Bronx, who was the one who recommended him, you know, for the first band that Hector sang in New York. I went to Hector's. He had like stages, like different bands in different épocas. So I went to a guy called Eddie Montalvo, Pulpo. In Puerto Rico, I went to Edgar Reyes. Then I went to and asked Ismael Miranda, Cheo Feliciano, guys that were in that Fania stage.
In the era, right?
In that era, yeah. And you know, I got a lot of good information, not even about music, about his personal life, you know.
Oh yeah, his mannerisms and his behavior and everything.
I studied on videos, and his life was so similar to mine. And when I was out there, you know, like back on the tracks when I was there. So every time I used to find something out, it was like that it happened to me. So I identify myself a lot with the situation, and I was one of the lucky ones, you know.
So you're a perfect candidate.
I guess.
Perfect.
I think this was a plan of God, really, you know, because the purpose and of the play is to, you know, you joke around, you have sad parts, you know, and moments where you see Hector like having a good time, and then, you know, like suffering. So you have like tears and suffering.
Oh yeah.
But the important part about this play and the message that we want to, you know, get through people is that whoever lives the life like Hector did is going to end up the same way.
They're going to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, I think it was in God's plan, you know, that this was going to have this success, because we didn't know. We got into this business that me, you know, from the salsa scene to the theater.
Right.
It was like we didn't know nothing. And then again, it comes to tell you that nobody knows nothing.
Right.
Because we opened this, I always say we, because David, the first person that he came to tell, you know, say about or talk about the play was to me. So I feel like I feel like I'm part of the creation. Yeah. And we said, let's try, you know, we have faith, and I knew we were going to have success, but not like this, you know, not like that we could run for a whole year. Right. And we closing on the 28th, but we could run
of
for
November. It's been extended till November of this year.
First of all, we just originally to do 8 weeks, and now we're going out 6 months.
Wow, that's great. Let's take a little break. We'll be back after this.
Trozo de personaje en mi país. ¿Quién iba a olvidarse de él? Cuando me atreví a volver a Ponce años después de alcanzar el éxito y la fama, me recibió con un abrazo. A la larga, él nunca me olvida.